So last night I just watched an incredible film. One of the best films I've watched all year, and might be the best horror movie I've ever watched in my entire life. Definitely up there, and it's just an incredible film. I wanted to talk about it today. And if you've been in the movie world, if you're interested in movies at all, you've definitely heard about it. It's called Obsession. And I wanted to talk about it today because the discourse on this film and the discussions, it's just been amazing because it's such a simple film, really. It's one of the most straightforward plots you'll ever watch, and yet there's so many nuances, so many bits and pieces that you can really just take out from the movie. And I've seen a lot of, I've read a lot of stuff online, a lot of takes, a lot of reviews, even watched a few videos about, the director and some of the cast and crews, approach and takes themselves and what they thought about it and what they thought about the audience. And yeah, I've seen some atrocious takes and I've seen some pretty good ones, and I just wanted to give my opinion today. And which you might not even agree. I might even have the worst take of them all, but I maybe I have the hottest take. But yeah, I implore you to watch it. It's a great film. Obviously, lots of spoilers as you watch this video. But to be honest, if you haven't watched the movie, you definitely don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, you just go watch the movie. It's great. And even as a person who doesn't like horror, I thought it was a fantastic film. Okay, so I'm gonna get right into it. First off, I want to talk about Bear, man. Bear. Bear. Where can I begin, brother? He is one of the most fucked up people I've ever witnessed in a piece of media. Like, this guy is depicted to a T what a lonely loser who has no self-esteem, no self-confidence, just a chud. Like, this dude has never talked to a woman in his life. Right off the rip, we get it right off the rip in the diner scene where he's practicing with the waitress, and he's with his homies, with Ian, and you could get a sense that this guy just, he's not all there, like he does not know how to talk to women. He's feeling awkward. He's over the top with it. He's all in his head, and all it is just him wanting to find the right way to confess his feelings for his crush Nikki, and it's so important for this film, and it translates to his actions. And I'm not sympathizing for Bear at all. Holy fuck, no, I'm not. Okay, because the way that he treats Nikki, not understanding that him making that wish was just fantasy land for him, like he moves past all the red flags, and that's his character. That's the whole point of the movie. Like, we see the deception, we see the obsession, we see the manipulation from him, and it's just incredible because that's what the type of person would do in that situation. Like, the way that his character was first introduced, the context of it all, it is perfectly portrayed. And that's exactly how a person who was desperate, a person who was in need of attention, like the way that he just kind of brushes past everything, like I said, and it's all to fulfill his selfish desires, just to get an ounce of what it would feel like to be with his crush, the love of his life, as he would see it in his fucked up head, like, it is so incredible. Like, that was just to a T. And it's crazy because it felt real. Like, this feels like a real character that would make these decisions, and it's fucked up, it's sad, and that's just the reality of it all. And I love how it's portrayed, and there are so many little nuances too, where like his character, like even from just the beginning of the movie, like the fact that he can't even take care of his own cat, his own carelessness, like that's his character. And I want to address this because I feel like there's a point in the movie, okay? There's a point in the movie where all this blame towards Bear can actually be shifted onto something else. And what it is the friend group. And oh my gosh, I want to talk about the friend group so badly because they piss me off so much. You don't understand. how much it pissed me off because I was thinking about it all night. And so let's just break it down to two things, right? I think the main villain of this movie is 100% Bear. He is a fucked up person, like I said. I've mentioned it throughout the past 2 minutes. But something that doesn't get talked about enough is the friend group and communication, okay? Because I'm being so serious when I say that everything could have been avoided if they just communicated better. Like, whether it be Bear or the friend group themselves, if there was just better communication, Obsession would literally have just never happened. And that's what pisses me off. Because to start off, okay, the friend group is introduced. We have 4 people: Bear, Sarah, Nikki, and Ian. And the way it's set up is you have Bear, main character, Ian, his best friend. Bear likes Nikki, and then Sarah is just kind of there. But as the movie progresses, we see that, Sarah actually has, an interest for Bear. We see that throughout, the various moments they have together. Even from, honestly, right off the rip when she gets introduced and they have the bar scene where Bear talks about his cat dying. And she gives him just the most, is that not the most, intimate hug? Was that just me? Because, I'm like, who the fuck hugs their friend like that? Because honestly, I think that was the biggest giveaway that Sarah liked him. But yeah, again, we have this kind of love line because Sarah likes Bear Likes Nikki. Sure, we have this love line, and Ian plays this fucking wingman. But then the twist happens, or the reveal, which completely just changes everything. Where Ian and Nikki have been hooking up on and off for 2 years, which again, to me, this completely changes the dynamic of everything, because now this friend group is so fucked up, okay? Because why not just tell Bear that they've been hooked? There is no reason for them to not tell him this. No reason. There is absolutely no reason. These people are so fucked. That is the worst thing you could ever do. He finds out that his fucking friend has been fucking his crush. Hello? He had never had a chance to begin with, and I think that's the point. That's the problem, is because he never had a point to begin with, so this never should have happened. Given that, I think this is what should have happened, okay? I think there's 3 outcomes. Given they told Bear this in the beginning before any of this happens. There are 3 outcomes, and I think all of them, well, okay, let me just break down the outcomes, okay? Number 1, they tell it to him, and then he himself understands that, okay, so he's never going to get with Nikki, so then he gives it up. He just doesn't try anymore. He doesn't try for her. Maybe he even ends up getting with Sarah. That is the most optimal situation, W situation. He moves on from Nikki, he gets with Sarah. Possible, okay? Possible. Number 2, also possible, because, it's just his character, the way that he is. He maybe, he can't move on from this, and he's still obsessed with Nikki. And then we have obsession happen, okay? And maybe that's what happens, and, maybe it didn't matter whether or not, and that happens, sure, fine. That's, the bad outcome. But then there's also the third outcome, which I honestly could be just as probable as the other 2, which is that he just gets really fucking depressed because he's like, oh man, my best friend's been fucking this girl that I had a crush on for, again, a long time. We know that it's been a long time he's had a crush on her because they talk about how they were in high school or whatever, or middle school, and he has the nickname for Nikki, Crazy Nikki, and she's like, I don't like that, whatever, and they have that scene in the, that scene in the car where he's about to confess, but he doesn't. And so since we know that they've known each other for quite some time, maybe he gets really sad and depressed, and he's like, you know what, fuck it, my best friend's been fucking the girl I like, I'm gonna kill myself, and then he just does it. Either way, there's at least the probability that obsession doesn't happen based on the fact that they communicate. And it's just crazy because what I to me, this is just something that I, again, my own personal take, my own personal belief is Ian is such a piece of shit friend. You are the worst friend on planet Earth. And, if I was ever in obsession, if this ever happened to me, number 1, if this ever happened to me, if I saw this fucking bitch in the corner, I woke up and this bitch was staring at me. Holy shit. We are out, bro. I'm dialing that number. I'm dialing that number instantly. I'm fucking calling up everybody, telling me like, okay, guys, there's this streak is crazy. Like, we need to, like, I did something wrong. Wait, we need to stop this. Any ethical human being would be like that in that situation. Honestly. But since, you know, it's Bear, you know, he's desperate or whatever. But that would be me. But honestly, if I had a friend like Ian, bro, like, you would be cut off, bro. You would be cut off. Fuck it, bro. Like, honestly, Bear, when he found that situation in that car with Sarah, what he should have fucking done was been like, Sarah, you know what? I forgive you for not telling me this. We need to get out of this fucking parking lot because this bitch about to come here and fucking, you know, like, I'm not allowed to do this. Some crazy shit happened. I would have been like, I never had a chance with her. Damn, fine. I'm going to cut them both off. Let me cut them both off. I'm going to go with Sarah. Let's get the fuck out of here. That would have been the most optimal. That would have been the best situation. But no, we didn't have that happen. Instead, we get this fucking crazy ass shit. But that friend group is a problem. Problem number one. Again, problem number two. Well, I mean, I guess that's problem number two. Problem number one is obviously Bear. And obviously, if Bear communicated his feelings, if he confessed and he just faced that rejection, because he was obviously going to get rejected. I don't understand some of the takes where they're like, what, you know, Nikki, it was never explicitly said. It's kind of in a nuance that Nikki liked Bear. No, she does not fucking like Bear. I can't believe people think that Nikki likes. I don't know where people have even the slightest idea that she is obviously not into Bear at all. And the fucking on and off relationship confirms that. And, you know, just the way that she was depicted throughout her little, you know, episodes where she broke out. Obviously, she did not fuck with him, bro. She did not fuck with him. She saw him as his brother. You know, she was like a sister to him. And so, like, yeah, those were like some of the stupidest takes that I had to just, point out, because I just thought that was so dumb. She was obviously not into him. Had he had just confessed, and at that point he would have been to the realization that she was not into him, and then he would have moved on, or maybe not. Again, we don't know. But I feel like the fact that the chance was never given, like the fact that that chance was there, the fact that it was there, really opens up the door of possibilities, and it makes me really feel like, damn, like, if this friend group just communicated better, if fucking Bear communicated better, this whole fucking movie would have never happened. And I don't know, like, for me, it kind of took it out a bit. Like, I don't know if this is like a plot hole. Like, I don't know if you would call it a plot hole, because I don't know. I don't know. To me, this is just like what I see, and I just feel like because of this, it took a bit from the movie for me, because it felt like his intentions could have been, you know, different if, you know, the right people stirred him in the right direction. But nope, just because, you know, plot, and because the way that the movie, you know, like, that's just how the way that the movie was structured. I just know that in some parallel timeline, some parallel universe, you know, because I hate the horror movie endings, because they're always so fucking depressing and sad, and there's never a good horror movie ending. Like, good in the sense, like happy. Like, there's no happy ending. I mean, it's a horror fucking movie. It's like, there's obviously no happy ending. But I like to think that in an alternate timeline, Bear and Sarah end up being together, and then, you know, Nikki goes on, and because she wanted to move away because she gave her 2 weeks notice, she goes on to do her thing, and fuck Ian, because I fucking hate him. Like, I genuinely fucking hate Ian so much. Because at the end of the day, you know, not to take away from anything, Nikki is obviously still the victim, right? She had her fucking life, man. Like, and Bear is just manipulating her because of his own selfish desires, and it's just so sad, because really, like, this is just what happens when this is just what happens when you don't confess and let it go, man. Let it go. Like, you just need to put it in a reality check, and sometimes you just you can't get what you wish for. And when you know what they say, what you get what you wish for, be careful what you wish for, and, you know, obsession happens. Man, but brilliant film. Loved the ending, loved the acting, loved everything about it. I just want to talk about my take on it. And yeah, just a fantastic film. One of the best films I've watched. Not the best film I've watched all year. I will be honest and say the best film I've watched this year is still Project Hail Mary. I even wanted to make a video about it after I watched the movie, because I felt very strongly about it. But honestly, I couldn't format I couldn't find the structure of how I wanted to make the video, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully in the future I'll make more videos on movies. Love this one. Maybe I'll make more in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.